morning, YouTube. Today I want to talk to you about don't settle for the transaction, focus on the transformation. And what do I mean by this? So I'm gonna give you a narrative of someone being an adolescent, let's say 15 years old. And at 15 years old, you desire your own income. So you get your first job, right? And what this job is supposed to show you and teach you is the responsibilities of life, right? Now, you got some income coming in. It's not a lot of income, but it's enough income to get certain things you want. So, let's say you graduate high school, 17, 18 years old, right? And you really haven't decided to go to college. You're still working this job. You don't have any future plans. You're kind of content with this job. Fast forward that to the age of 21, right? Still here. Still working the job. Got a couple raises through that time period. So now you're approaching 25. And at 25, you're starting to think, I'm starting to really desire more income in my life. You're looking at your friends, your peers graduating college and getting degrees and certifications. And from that time gap of 25 to 30, you're really starting to look at life differently and you're desiring more, but you really don't know how to go about it. And bitterness is setting in. So you're looking at your friends' lives, and you're starting to become a little envious, a little jealous. You shouldn't be, but you are. Because they can do more than you can. They're talking about all these experiences and you're not actually experiencing them either, right? Now, what could you do in this situation? You're 30 years old, right? And you feel like you've wasted all this time at this job and the employers aren't really valuing you, and that's not the case. It's not that they're not valuing you. It's more or less that you've hit a ceiling. They can only pay you so much. And yes, you could get a managerial position there, but at the same time, that's not going to pay that much more. So what do? You've already went through all of these channels, by the way, to try to figure this out. So what do? At 30, you can become complacent and bitter and complain and blame the company, or you can start seeking other opportunities, other business opportunities, or creating opportunities that could potentially transform your life. Not to be able to relate to your friends, but ask yourself, is this really what you want more? If you want more out of life, I feel more fulfilled doing this because it's representing growth within myself, staying stagnant. Now you can ask yourself this: if you stayed at this job, what's going to be the outcome? You could take on the mindset of the other employees, complaining about the company, angry at the world, Even if you try to even create a family, it can affect your family as well, because you're never happy. You're never present there. You're always thinking about finances and income. How you going to do this and how you going to do that? Because you're barely getting by. And that's settling for the transaction, right? And the only reason you're still at this place is because it's paying your bills. You focus more on bills instead of growth. You focus more on bills instead of financial freedom and prosperity. Now, let's say you go and decide to take a risk on looking into other business opportunities because you feel like, you know what, you can bring more value to the world, or you just want more out of life. If you put all your effort into that, who knows where it can take you? You could become a multimillionaire, possibly a billionaire, possibly find something that's more fulfilling, right? See, the more of the story of what I'm trying to explain to you, family, is this, right? Most people settle for the transaction. They get these jobs, they get these careers, and they're focused on paying bills. Yeah, you can go on a vacation here, you can buy you a car, you can buy you some toys, or whatever the case may be. But what if you focused on the transformation? And some people might say, man, that's too hard, you're dreaming. Yeah, I know it's a dream, but it's a dream that could come true if you believe in yourself. Where can the transformation take you? The possibilities are endless. So, as humans, we're designed to remain the same person for the rest of our lives. Are we designed to grow and change and self-develop and become something different? Are we here to have the same experiences, or are we here to have different experiences? So if you're sitting here and you think about your life, and you look at the same habitual habits that you have that keep you stuck, and you know you're unhappy, but you can't figure out where the unhappiness is coming from, then it might be time to look for something else that gives you greater purpose, more fulfilling. That's the power of transformation. See, we're stuck here looking at money and focused on paying our bills instead of living our best lives. If you're focused on money and expecting a transaction, well, that's the mindset you're going to have. And definitely it's going to affect your spirit. But if you're focused on transformation, there's no ceiling on what you can do. So family, this is something that hit my spirit that I want to share with you. Just think about how much more fulfilling that a transformation will be in your life from just settling for a transaction. That's all I got.